Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening?
Not much.
Let me do the subscriber thing. So
Oh, thanks. Sorry about that.
it's all right.
I just got to remember. I'm sure there's a way to auto do it. There's got to be something.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Interesting.
I'm gonna try again to look, but it just takes 2 seconds. But you just got to remember to do it.
Yeah, I'll do make sure to do it going forward. So,
This and then customization, subscribers, 20 minutes. I got it down to where I could do it in like 10 seconds now, so that's good.
yeah.
And I have for those of you where we're live. So yeah, so just so you guys know, I have a couple of tools that are going up on the site. I've been threatening to put them up there, but I didn't know how to put them up there in Excel format because you guys then it's just like you guys can download them using yourself. I want to make it so you can use it from the actual site. So I have Evan Scans is working on it. He's going to put it up on the tables. I'm doing that geo mean filter thing, that calculator I always show on my thing. I'm going to put it up there for everybody else to use. And this MMA scoring tool, which I've been working on, that I've been using on the side. So I just throw all my stuff up there in Sheets tools and let people figure out, how to use them. Not figure out how to use them, figure out if they want to use them.
Gotcha.
So he's putting up there. So, dude, what do you think? Like a 200 million point total, huh?
Yeah, this is you don't see this every day. It's pretty wild to see, honestly, but I get it. And the weird thing is these teams already, before Indiana was this current version, already have like this history of playing these crazy high scoring, very close games. So what are we going to do? I mean, it goes back to sort of the conversation the other day to get a little different on this slate. I guess we could talk about the outlook on the games. I like Indiana and I like New Orleans.
Oh, you like Indiana, huh?
I think it's pretty foolish to like New Orleans. I do like Indiana. Yeah, I think this is made for them. I just don't know, like, that you're going to. I mean, you could outscore them, but I just think Milwaukee is an unfinished product that was incredible the other night. But they're not going to make every shot like they did against the Knicks. Yeah, I really. Oh, that's funny. This guy is saying in chat that his password is the same as your background, as it used to be. This Zizix. I was like that. It's probably too common to make a password, but kind of dangerous. Anyway, so what are you going to do to get different on this slate? And I think there's a lot of options because there is some, some of these the minutes are sort of all over the place, and you're playing both of these showdowns. What is your sort of overall outlook on the slate?
Well, again, I mean, like to get different, you're gonna have to do some crazy, not crazy stuff, but I mean, who do I have here? Beauchamp. He's projecting to be lower owned. Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish, TJ McConnell. He's 19, whatever. I'm seeing a low ownership projection on Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's. So I guess the thing that tells us is that people aren't going to play that much Giannis, considering, and people aren't going to play as much Halliburton, because if you're going to play those other ones, you kind of have to play the. If you're going to skip those really cheap guys, you're probably not paying all the way up very often, and there's enough of a savings on LeBron and AD where I understand why they're popular. But I think they're going to be more popular than the Halliburton Giannis thing, and that's so. I immediately, my first build was to try to find a way to get Giannis and Halliburton in the lineup.
Other low-owned guys are Toure and Prince. These are not like. I mean, this is what's showing up, right? LeBron.
Yeah. Well, do we really think that's going to happen? Is it to me? Because like you haven't actually projected better than AD, or actually, you know what? That's not true. It depends on the site. Say Zaberson hasn't projected better than AD. The other sites mostly have been projected lower than AD in terms of fantasy output, which is kind of weird that AD would be more popular after LeBron just went nuts. I don't know. It just feels like a funny. I don't know if I buy it entirely.
What are the chances? And this is like in one lineup, whatever. What are the chances that AJ Green plays in this game? 0?
No, he played in the last game.
Okay.
I think he could play.
Okay.
Yeah, I considered that as one of my silly, crazy, weird things. I think that's a viable option. This is what you get when you play these slates because everybody knows who the main plays are. You know what I mean? It's not.
Well, I'll tell you who I'm getting the most of my builds is are the Indiana or the secondary Indiana guys. I mean, like Matherin, Nesmith, McConnell. These are my highest owned guys.
Yeah.
And Giannis.
I would imagine Bruce Brown is probably up there as well.
Not that much because again, like I'm trying to get a little different, so I'm kind of modeling for that a little bit. So like, I only have 36% Bruce Brown.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, my highest owned is Matherin, Nesmith, and McConnell, and then Giannis actually.
I just want to make one and again, I'm not saying this is a guarantee or anything like that, but if you want to take an angle of what happens in this game, do we really think that you're going to have Nesmith guarding LeBron, guarding Giannis that much? Even if you're doubling, is that really going to happen? Or is it more likely that Obi Toppin plays more minutes tonight and Nesmith gets phased a little bit less and maybe plays more small forward? And in which case, I mean, look, I'm not going to play Isaiah Jackson, but I'll just mention that there's an outside chance that he can get minutes because Giannis is massacred against this team. He put up 71 the last time they played. I think they're going to need some extra size because they obviously can't put Turner on. I mean, Turner's going to be on Lopez. And I wouldn't really want Turner with, his mobile stuff. So I don't really know who they'd put on Giannis outside of Toppin. So I actually have Toppin rated as a guy who I might just play in both of my bigger buy-ins.
I like Toppin. I definitely for example, in the big buy-in, I have it a little different. Do I have Toppin? No, I'm still even in that one. I'm gutting to this Rui thing.
You're getting So this is why can I point out one other reason why I'm not so sure about the Anthony Davis ownership being higher than LeBron's? You have projected 88% ownership between Lopez and Turner. You don't need to play double centers in this state now. While people generally would do that because that's usually the right thing to do.
Right.
You're then counting on, and then you're going to get 30% Joval. How is AD really going to be more popular than LeBron? I just don't. Oh, AD's power forward eligible now. I forgot about that. I keep forgetting they made him power forward eligible.
Yeah, I'm not getting AD in my big buy-in. In the big buy-in, I'm getting Giannis and no other studs.
Mm-hmm. For what it's worth, I like Halliburton to outscore Giannis straight up tonight. Just for me.
Oh, there you go.
And I think Halliburton is an unbelievable play. The way he played the other night, it's still stuck in my head. Like it's just he's taken over. He knows he's so significantly the whole driving the engine on that team. He does everything, and he's pulling up from half court now, taking threes, and he's like an incredibly high efficiency shooter too. I'm just all about Halliburton here. I think this is the spot where I'm going to talk a lot in the second half of the year where we'd probably fade Halliburton at these prices when we could play Giannis at the same price and stuff. But I think this is one of those days where I actually want Halliburton more. But I like Giannis too. So I like the idea of playing Giannis and Halliburton together. And if you can make it work, I think that's, you're playing the Vanderbilts in that case. And for what it's worth, it's funny that Vanderbilt's projection dropped so much from the other night in a 2-gamer. And he was, he played his normal, played what, 16, 17 minutes or whatever it is. He's projected to play 14 tonight. I think he's got some upside on that. And also, again, you talk about matchups. You have two bigs on the court almost all the time for New Orleans, okay? So if you're not betting on Vanderbilt playing, and here's my super long shot play, is Jackson Hayes.
Okay.
That's the get crazy play, but it's look, first of all, revenge. Second of all, you play two bigs, and are you going to have LeBron guarding Zion the whole game? That doesn't seem like a good use of LeBron's effort, which could mean Rui, but obviously you have some defensive issues there. Vanderbilt's a very good defender. He's the most logical one. But there's an outside chance you could see AD playing alongside Jackson Hayes tonight. That's just my bold take. It's a very bold one. It's probably better for Showdown than it is for 2-gamers, but look, man, we see it happen all the time with these guys. It was Alvarado the other night. Why couldn't that happen? Also, the other ones who are like, Cam Reddish is being projected terribly. But the thing is, like, I don't care about him doing very little. I think his minutes, I mean, he played 30 minutes the other night, and they really phased out in a Christie in a way that they were really like trying to win this game. And Reddish was on the court for 30 minutes. 30 minutes at 4,500 at 10% ownership feels like something else I could do, you know? And I think you could even extend that to Taurean Prince. I think all of these Lakers have, look, there's obviously downside because they can't all play the minutes, but there is tons of them you could make good arguments for to play a lot of minutes. The guy who I'm going to have probably in every lineup, along with possibly Toppin, is Trey Murphy. I also captained him in the showdown lineups. He's a guy who should probably be about 6,500, and he's 4,900. I really like him tonight, but he's obviously going to be popular. What do you think? You know who else gets a little maybe overlooked tonight? And depends on where you're looking to see where the ownership goes. But like Bobby Portis, I think might get a little overlooked. Malik Beasley, and you're just seeing like between the sites. I'm looking at the different projections. You're seeing very different projections depending on the site for each of these guys in terms of their ownership and their actual fantasy points. So it's interesting because I think it is a high variance situation that we haven't really dealt with much before.
Which guy are you looking at?
For that one, I was sort of speaking in general, but I was saying like, what was I saying about the?
No, you were saying there's a big variance between. I want to check that. Which guy?
Oh, I just see it all over the place. I know Goldie hasn't updated his new ones yet, but nothing's changed since the beginning of the day.
Right.
So, I'm looking at Anthony Davis. So Bobby Portis being between 18 and 40% owned.
As far as ownership, yeah, I have some between 33 and 20. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a high variance one. So is D'Angelo Russell. So is Austin Reeves between 20 and 35%. It's a pretty big gap.
That's why I think average it out is pretty close. 25, 26 for D'Angelo Russell makes sense.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised though if he ends up being like 35 by the end of the night. It's hard to have a feel for it when different projection sites are having a hard time with it as well. The other one was a huge one. Oh, well, Halliburton. Depending on where you look, he's either good. I got him between 30% owned and 12% owned. So
right. I see.
Don't know what's going to happen there. And Giannis between 8 and 20%.
Yeah.
So those are just the ones that I caught. The other guy who's going to be overlooked is if we're going to play this game, like Lillard, is a pretty strong play as well. And I'm not saying these guys are going to be forgotten. I'm just saying that it's so hard to spend up. But I do think it's worth it on these slates. I think you're going to see 3 guys in this game in these games in the 60s. And I think that if you can even take some of those 7 or 8 pointers or whatever, maybe you get fortunate. Everybody gets double digits. But I think it's worth it to do on these 2 gamers because it's just hard to get the middling. The middling build is obvious what to do, but the usage is going to go. They're going to treat this like a playoff game. So the usage is going to go more to the stars unless somebody just randomly gets hot.
Yeah, that's true.
And we got Nick Dunbar here asking about Buddy Hield or Middleton as a last piece on FanDuel. Sheets, do you have a take on that one? Because that's a tough one. I think Middleton is who I have more of, but I have no issue if you want to go Hield, I guess.
I mean, I guess Hield is more upside.
Yeah.
A little riskier. I mean, depends what the rest of your lineup looks like, but I probably Hield in a big GPP and a 2-gamer, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. But like I'm saying, that part of why I actually feel like I'm taking the safe points by taking Middleton because I don't need to get as far off the board if I'm going to play, 3 subs.
You're going to play Jackson Hayes.
Certainly not if I'm going to play Jackson Hayes. But in my big builds right now, I mean, I've got I do have Jackson Hayes in one of them. I'm sure I'm going to change that. But I've got Vanderbilt and Beauchamp in the same lineups. And
yeah, but you can change that easily. You know what I mean? Like the game's not for only 100 hours.
Right. And let's see what else we have here. What was the other?
You should definitely do if you're feeling it, you play some showdown and play Jackson Hayes.
I did.
Oh, there it is.
I threw in it just to get there. You got the double revenge and sort of the proving. This is a big thing between the Lakers and Pelicans. I mean, they made one of the biggest trades in NBA history.
Yeah, forget the revenge. This is like real money now for some of these guys.
No, yeah, absolutely, all of them. I mean, the truth is, even all of them. So even if it goes to a charity thing, like it's a cool thing to go do it. And you know, some of these guys, who don't play as much, they care about it really.
I'm like really excited to see. I don't know if you saw this, but the Yankees. Let's see if now that they have Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge, and Soto, if they could get maybe to the wild card game. That'd be nice.
That would be nice, huh?
Yeah, that'd be really strong.
Sort of like what are they? Them and the Padres have got to be the two biggest disappointments in baseball.
That's not great either.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So yeah, for what it's worth, like I'm looking at my builds right now. I really like. I know Bruce Brown's popular. I think that's an easy guy to plug in. He makes the most sense probably with that mid-range ish stuff. I do like Ingram in the matchup. I don't necessarily love the ownership. And like I said, I like the Halliburton and Giannis together and make a little game stack and maybe make in your Ingram lineups, maybe make a LeBron and Ingram stack. I think that's totally a good way to sort of start with your spend ups and then figure out all these random pieces like the Beauchamps. Obviously Obi Toppin and Neesmith I even have in, even though I'm worried about it. Herb Jones is expensive, but certainly been proving that he's worth it. Or not more, he's more expensive than he used to be, but he's 5,500. Why is Herb Jones not projecting better? I don't quite understand it. All the guy does is get there.
He smashed too hard in his last game, I think.
In his last three. Like, what's going on?
Just for the hell of it, I'm going to run one more projection thing. I mean, nothing's going to change. I don't think.
God, you'd have to have some stones to bet at the Indy Milwaukee over, huh?
Why? They just get 400 every game. I mean,
I know, but and there's so many ways that things could happen. They had a night against Boston. It was close to the over.
It's pretty cool, man. That you got like the biggest NBA total ever on the same night as like the smallest NFL total ever, pretty much.
It is, yeah. How about that? I'm gonna do a little NFL thing after a little later.
I already did, by the way.
That's awesome. Yeah, appreciate it.
I put a thing up there. I didn't really talk about the games too much, but I just did like a Saberson build, something like that, and I'll be around. Like you guys want to do something like 7:30 or something like that.
Yeah. I'll jump in. Just let me know what time works for you, and I'll jump on in at that time because I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, I'm trying my best not to have those defenses in the captain.
What's weird is the projections still aren't saying that they're going to be owning the captain, but I think they will be, right?
They'll be totally jammed.
Yeah, I have one with them in the captain. Really like I think that the best other plays, I'll just throw this part out right now, I guess. But I think that Freiermuth and Devontae Parker are other captain plays that I would be looking at.
Well, you got to watch for that second running back thing from New England, whether it's going to be Hasty or Ty Montgomery.
Yeah,
they're both really. I mean, they're pretty cheap. Actually, Ty Montgomery's not cheap, but Hasty is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think that both Pittsburgh running backs make perfect sense.
Yeah, obviously both Pittsburgh running backs are in play.
Yeah. This is probably. I mean, you probably should be playing both as a start.
Probably.
Core 3 to be building around for MME on DraftKings.
What's that?
I got a question from Alexander Davidson. Who's the core 3 to be building? I think he's talking about basketball. I think look, in terms of the chalkier plays. I mean, that's what you're building. That's what you're going to make your core out of. I would say Bruce Brown, Trey Murphy, because then you could sort of have options to what you want to do elsewhere. I like Halliburton and Giannis a lot, but I also like LeBron and Ingram. I would start probably with Brown, Murphy, and maybe Middleton as just sort of that way you still have plenty left to spend. But that's probably the way I would go.
What's he playing in the big MMA thing?
That?
What's he playing, the MMA?
Yeah, but he said a core 3 to build around, so hard to just go with.
I like Matherin.
Yeah, he's another one you could put in there. Yeah, Matherin or Murphy, I think are very close, but just probably slightly lower ownership on Murphy. And let's see what else there is. I think that Ingram is the most logical, because he's not spending all the way up. But I think both AD and LeBron, or all three, AD, LeBron, and Lillard, make a lot of sense as the logical one. I just like the idea of trying to force in the Giannis and Halliburton because I think that they're going to outscore everybody tonight by a pretty decent margin.
You could be right.
Might be Lillard. I mean, can you imagine like Lillard in this game with Portland? We would be locking this guy in on a full slate, even at like 11K. Like he would probably, you know what I mean? What's he gonna get? Like if he was still on that Portland team, he'd get 75 at least.
That looks good. Let's do one more.
I'm very surprised they're playing these games, to be honest with you.
What do you mean?
Just after the shooting yesterday, I thought that because they're in Vegas, like there was definitely talk about it last night, speculation that they might. Like a lot of the show, they were doing a big live show for The Ringer in Vegas, and they canceled that because it just didn't feel like the right time. So I was just like,
oh really?
Yeah.
Let's see, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's supposed to. In my big buy, you know what? I'm going to play the Halliburton. I think.
Yeah.
I will play the Halliburton.
By the way, if you want another boost of a reason, Halliburton on the road this year, averaging 68 fantasy points. Now they're not on the road; they're in Vegas, it's a neutral court, but that's pretty wild. That he's averaging so much more on the road than he is at home.
Well, the other thing I would say is that you could make a pretty reasonable argument for the under in this game, for no other reason than it's a new court that they haven't played there, right?
Yeah, I like that, Sheets. I mean, any reason you can try and come up with an under like makes. I just don't. I think I would bet the under if I was forced to pick one way, just because it's so high, and there are ways like it could happen. Anybody could get injured. Somebody, you know what I mean? It could just be one of those games where everybody misses the first 5 minutes, and you play at that pace the rest of the way, but you don't get the first 5 minutes in. We see it all the time.
I mean, I think that's actually pretty easy. Not easy. I think that's a pretty good bit of logic, actually. I mean, I remember that they used to do this for the freaking NCAA tournament. All the totals would come down because these teams are not used to playing in the new stadiums. I don't know.
Yeah,
I probably would have made worse bets.
Yep. All right. What else do we have? Guys, pop in any other thoughts or questions. I'm going to probably build my lineups in a little bit, but only if things dry up here.
Yeah, I have a major issue going on in Sheets World right now. This is like awful.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, this is really just real bad. So my AirPods. So yesterday I was opening the thing and I just flung them like by mistake, and one of them I found, and the other one I can't find. I mean, I looked all yesterday for them, couldn't find them, and so I actually have I have a whole staff of people. Like my wife is coming in like 5 minutes to actually help me look for it. This is like this is what they call first world problems. These
Can't you just use the one? I only use one now.
What?
I only use one now.
One AirPod?
Yeah, I only use one.
In one ear?
Yeah, because when you work out, they get a little too sweaty sometimes. So my other one got a little weird, so it makes a weird noise. So I just use one.
Yeah, no, that's not
that's what the young people do. Sheets.
Yeah,
trying to build the young people.
That's not what I people do. So let's and not only that, it's just the principle of the thing that I know it's like in this office somewhere. And I can't find it.
That's the part that would drive me nuts.
That's the issue. And I've even tried to I have that device, like find the AirPod or something.
It's supposed to beep, yeah.
It's just not working.
It's not
working. It's testing me. All
right. Well, I'll let you go to your AirPods.
No big deal. I mean, this is like if I don't have full, mojo, then none of my. Oh, I got it. Oh my! How good am I? Look at this.
What?
Look at that.
On air.
On air. And now Even better. Now Stacy doesn't have to come in. Even better. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Alex, you're talking in here about the Brooke Lopez. I actually agree that it is a good matchup for Lopez, but I mean, we're not getting anything different by playing Lopez or Turner. It's not. Both those guys are fine. I don't think that it's like that's how you're going to win a tournament when a guy's 50% on. Dunbar asking about the Alvarado. I think he is a really good sneaky play, but I liked him better in the matchup the other night than I do tonight. But I still like him. I still think that he's a good tournament play. I think that the projections on him are a little bit too low in general.
I just want to show you. I don't know if you can you read this. Can you read my AirPod? What that says?
What does it say?
Can you read it through the
LFG? Yeah.
There it is. I don't know if it comes off in the webcam.
Yeah. All right,
dude. I'm already running hot.
yeah, that's it. Free roll.
Exactly what I do today. I'm already like
free roll.
Computer. But all right, that'll do it. I'll be back. I'll be around probably hopefully like 7:30 or so.
Yeah, just let me know and I'll pop in.
Okay, sounds good. I'll talk to you.
Good luck, everybody.